Hello and welcome to Ask the Expert. My name is Christopher and I'm your host. Today we are, as you can see, at high-end Munich. And with me I have Malte. Malte, can you talk a little bit about yourself?
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
It's really hot, but let's try to stay cool.
Yeah.
My name is Malte. I came to Dynaudio 2 years ago. I'm a design director. That means all the industrial design around our products, the visual things like the colors, the veneers, and also the new shapes we came up with, for example, with the contour.
Perfect. Are you ready for a question?
Yes.
Let's jump into it.
Go ahead.
Malte, can you talk a little bit about what characterizes Danish design?
Well, Danish design is really known for furniture design.
Yeah.
And when we look into furniture design, we all know Danish chairs. A Danish chair is known for good ergonomics and a solid construction.
Yeah.
And that's basically the philosophy I'm working with within the Dynaudio speaker world.
Okay. And when you're working from that philosophy, how does it come? Is it expressed in our loudspeakers?
It is basically the honest construction, the honest materials that we are using in our products. But it's also like the ergonomics in the chair. It's also about the acoustics in our products. So for us, the acoustic comes first, and then we design the cabinet and the colors and everything around that.
Okay.
It's basically when I talk about the contour, that is really a good example of all these traditional design tools that we use to achieve a speaker that is like really understated, but also everlasting in its expression. I'm still surprised sometimes when I go around the Contour 30, for example, that is like, oh, that's an angle I've never seen before.
Is there anything in particular you would highlight about it as being really Danish design, the Contour 30? The materials or the shapes? Or...
The Contour 30 is, I think, is a really, really well-balanced speaker, first of all.
Yeah.
And the combination of the materials and also how these materials work together reminds me a lot about the Danish design furniture industry.
So, if we sum it up, it's all about simplicity, honest design, and a user-centric focus.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Malte, how long does it take to design a loudspeaker?
It depends on the project.
Okay.
Because we have these redesigns like the Contour 20, which takes time, and then we have small updates where we maybe change the color or like a different veneer. So my work really starts when I have an acoustic concept, acoustic prototype.
So that would be in a redesign or in a brand new range of speakers? Or?
For a brand new speaker like the Contour, where we like redesign everything and develop everything from scratch, just the pure design process will take 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
And that starts, you said, when you get an acoustic prototype?
Yes.
And what do you do from there? What's your first step?
My first step is basically sketching by hand. And then maybe build some small mock-ups in cardboard or wood or whatever.
So it's really about being creative?
Just to get a contact to the dimensions and also the like the depth and the height and everything. It's pretty important to get these things right from the start, because just to move a cabinet up by 5 centimeters can change the whole expression, basically.
Okay. And then from there on out, I guess it's working with the acousticians, the product management team to figure out what design you want, what this direction you want to go, or...
Yeah, basically I sketch up different concepts within the frame given.
Yeah.
And then we talk like the different concepts through with the team, and then we pick a favorite and then go from there.
And is there any kind of acoustic parameters that you have to think about in this process, or is it when you get the acoustic model, is that okay to play around and do whatever you like? Or
an acoustic prototype is basically a finished speaker just in a really, really rough state.
Okay.
So at this point we already have tested different tweeter plates, like the wave guides and everything.
Okay.
So all things I need to continue are given at that point.
Okay. And then it's a 6-month process?
Yes.
And the final thing you do is any kind of ritual, or is it just...
I think I have to invent a ritual. I don't have just go to bed and take a nap. But a design process of 6 months is like building prototypes that you, for example, for a Contour 20, that you end up with like up to 20 prototypes where you make small adjustments. We have to test and check, for example, the aluminum parts and all this stuff. So,
but also on a speaker like the Contour 30 or 20 or 60 for that matter, with the curved edges, that also affects the sound, right?
Yeah, totally. We built basically the Contour cabinet is built for the drivers that we developed for this product. And my goal is always to design a speaker that is not dominating the room. Like Danish design tradition, be a little bit understated. So the Contour is really slim right from the front. That's why we curved the drivers down into the round shape of the edges. And when you see the Contour from the side, you can really see that all his volume is in the depth, basically.
And that's good for the dispersion of sound with the rounded edges. And
it's basically you have to think about it's all about physics. Basically, it's pretty simple. But when you have a tweeter here and the sound comes out, it really slides off to the back of the speaker. And when you have an edge, it really bump.
Yeah.
So I always think about this little man climbing out of the tweeter and crawl out of the waveguide, and then so I really try to make it as smooth as possible.
It doesn't just fall off the edge. But in all, a process like that takes up to 6 months.
Yes.
And then it's then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Malte, we have a question about the design of loudspeakers. As she points out, most loudspeakers, almost every loudspeaker, is square. Why is that?
Well, there are a lot of square loudspeakers out there, but not all loudspeakers are square. We have the same within the Dynaudio family. We have square speakers like this one, but we also have speakers that are way different than this box. But to come back to your question, it's basically because the speaker is a very simple construction.
Yeah.
You have the drivers, the tweeter, the needed volume, a bass port, a terminal, and that's it. So what is your when is it that you get involved with the speaker? What is it that you do with it? Well, it depends a little bit on the project, but if we talk again about the Contour, it's also this kind of design development to find new ways, materials, finish, to improve the sound quality for the given project.
Okay. So there's a lot of research that goes into what kind of shapes and designs that actually help to improve the sound?
Yeah, it should. Because our philosophy is that design follows the acoustic concept, and it should support and also improve the quality of the performance.
And I guess that's why you're here.
That's
Dynaudio.
why I'm here. Yeah. So I'm a part of the R&D development, and I really enjoy the work there because we work so close together. I work really close together with the acoustic engineers, and I think that the concert really proves that this kind of philosophy and the way to work together is paying off.
Malte, that was our last question for you. Thank you so much for helping out here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank all of you for your questions.